Welcome back. This is Sports Zone on Joy Prime. We're grateful that you spend your Monday evenings with us, and we don't take it for granted at all. Like I said, it's a very special month. It's Ghana month, but also the month of Ramadan. So here at Joy, we showcasing the best of culture, and that's why I brought the best of minds with the best of outfits onto the show tonight. Danike and Chicho for Flavor Stream looking very different and very beautiful. Hey, watch your space.
But every day I wear space.
I like the variety, yeah?
Guys.
This is nice. Green and white, red multicolored. How many colors?
There's yellow, there's
How many colors? Coat of
wine.
There's
gold.
sing the song for me.
There's go. Coat of
Many colors, oh, mama made for me. They don't leave from rags, but I want it to proudly.
So if you see
Although we had no money.
Oh, God. A shirt of many colors. I can only identify like one color in there.
Which one?
The yellow.
Oh, there's
Are you
yellow,
colorblind?
That's yellow.
There's sea blue, there's red, there's
Sea blue.
white,
There's burgundy.
gold, there's burgundy,
There's burgundy.
Yeah.
Which color is burgundy?
there's orange.
There's burgundy.
Is there brown there?
Burgundy is in between here.
in between here.
Hey, Charlie. But you guys are looking nice.
Ah, yeah, you too, thank
I
you.
said it 3 times so that we also see
Say
him.
that you two are looking nice. You're looking
You're
nice.
also
You're
looking
looking nice.
Eh?
Ah, you changed your frame, man.
I did.
That's why you're saying I'm wearing space.
You can't tell me. You can't tell me.
The thing is, I want to talk low.
What was Karim doing?
It was.
What?
I'm confused.
Me too.
What's going on?
Oh my God.
You know,
Oh, God.
come again.
After all these years of TV,
Come again.
he still couldn't tell that we were
but
on
your
air.
friend-
He just walking here,
Your friend
and the
is nice,
director
your friend
too was
it.
watching you.
Bring him.
DK, where are you going?
Bring him. You make the guy shy. Bring that thing.
DK, come back here. Come back here. Where was he going? He's not Mike. Even if he can't, you can't hear him.
He just come. He was come say hi to you. Then you are sacking him. Karim hasn't seen you all day. He was come to say hi to you.
Achutamakulu, ask your friend Karim, where was he going?
And the guy walked and said, what's going on?
I had to
After they
stop
come
you. I'm
out,
like,
what does it say?
what is going on here, champion?
He was just walking.
God.
Sorry.
Guys, thank you. Apologies. Listen, I don't know, man, but welcome to the show. That was. It's silly season.
Yeah.
It's silly season. It's silly season. Anyway, thank you guys for being on the show. Big shouts to Victor Achutamaklo and his twin sister who are watching the show at home. Vic, his sister is called Victoria.
Yeah.
And he's called Victor.
Victoria.
And Victoria is wondering what's wrong with my hair. She said my hair looks different. Achu and what?
Achupui.
Achupui.
Isn't that it? Twins in Achu and Achupui. Maybe that's what I was told.
I'm not sure.
Ah.
I'm confident.
Yeah. Oh, it's I'll go feel call right now.
Yeah.
Could be.
Okay. Victor Achutamaklo and Victoria Achupui.
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 That
Achupui.
Yeah, huh.
Achupui. Achupui. Achupui is you.
This guy mad.
But no matter when you say kwe, kwe normally means short or little.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm here kwe.
Okay.
Achu, confirm the thing. You are watching the things of you sending message to confirm.
Instead of Achu to send
you are
a
there,
message,
are looking at
sleeping
our
on the
faces
job.
on the TV.
Okay. Guys, listen. We want to take you around the country specifically to Ashanti region and to Central region where the interco happened. And we'll show you some scenes from the brilliant scenes, wonderful performances from athletes all around the country in the Ashanti region. Big stories. Joseph Paul Amos, Joseph Paul Amos' brother. This is Cape Coast. When we go to Ashanti region, I'll tell you Joe Paul's brother who anchored Prempeh to the 4x200 meter victory. But this is Cape Coast where the men's event was won by, of course, Mfantsipim School, a record equaling 14th title for them. They are now level with Ogasco with 14 titles. But the one that stole the show was St. Louis. But this is Ando Kofi. He stole the show. This kid is special. We will get onto the Zoom line and speak to Elorm, who is an athletics coach in the US, to tell us just a little bit more about how special this kid is. But listen, we talk about storylines. I mean, and that's him in lane 1. He's blazing away. No one comes close. And he's celebrating. He's got the personality. He's got the character. He's got the brightest smile of an athlete that I've seen. He's got everything. And I hope that he is really young. I say, like, he's using his exact age. Because you look at his build and everything, if he is still a teenager, he would go on to do great things. If he's over 20, then you start to have doubts. But listen, whatever be the case, I think that the Super Zonas once again show that athletics is not there. This is Kumasi. And look at the fans, man. Those of you watching the show, let me know which school your school was, let me know if your school was represented. You understand? Let me know if your school, look at the celebration. This is why some people come to the Super Zona. They don't come for the athletics. This is the main event for them. Athletics is just a side gig. You understand? And I was here and there. So it was amazing. St. Louis, if anyone said that St. Louis were capable of winning an athletics competition at any point, I would have said no. But they changed focus, and now they're winning athletics competitions. So St. Louis and Prempeh sweeping the boys and the girls categories in the Ashanti region. So that's that. But my favorite video from the whole Super Zonas were the gay hair girls. When I do have that gay hair girls, they were fanning themselves with somebody.
That was a great video.
Somebody
did some wild compilation.
Somebody did what?
In Kumasi. Some wild compilation, like it was the guy's choice of shots.
Yeah. I saw that video.
Bro,
I saw that
was
video.
My favorite.
It was amazing. It was amazing. But
and then you see that video?
Yeah.
Why you make her feel like that?
It's baby girls.
You know, correct.
Oh, no, it was the event.
Yeah, no, it's just baby girls.
It's all part of the event.
It was the event.
Okay.
And you saw a more. Mamia, is the event.
Yeah. But guys, let's talk briefly about that. I mean, that was very special. The crowd, the atmosphere, it just took us all back in the day. But then we couldn't help but think yet again about what becomes of these athletes. What are we doing wrong? Because every year we sell out the stadium, the crowd is huge, we see the talent, but then we never are quite able to translate that to the top level. What aren't we doing right?
No, there's no proper conveyor belt, or there's no proper transitioning for these young talented athletes at this level. So they display all the talent, they show all the promise and signs that they are potential gold medalists or Olympic medalists or world champions, but the potentials are never enough when you want to win them. You need to go through a lot more to polish that talent and potential that you've got. And many other countries have shown us the way. We've just refused to follow. And so a lot of these talents would be on earth at a youth level or at the secondary cycle level. But then there's no proper progression for them. They don't get to do it a lot more in the university. And even when they've done that, they don't also get the requisite help to go on. Even when they have the scholarship, after scholarship in schools outside Ghana, they don't get what it takes, the right training, the facilities, the coaching, the funding that goes with these sports to go on to the professional level. So and again, it's a clear example of what we've always been saying, that talent has never been an issue in Ghana. In boxing, talent is not an issue. In athletics, talent is not an issue. In football, talent is not an issue. The issue is how to turn these talents into proper, consistent world superstars.
All right. Do we have Elorm on the line? Let's see. Okay, so we'll get Elorm in very shortly. But Danike, as Sicho mentioned it, that the issue is managing the transitions properly. We've had a couple of examples, like the Joe Pauls. They all came from this system. Yeah. The Azamatis all came from this high school system. Joe Paul was running for Prempeh only a few years ago. He's an Olympian now, actually a two-time Olympian now. But again, we've had to rely on that US system, which was a great idea from the beginning. But as time has gone on, it is becoming very clear that we need to repurpose that idea. That even though it was a brilliant idea at the beginning, is not necessarily serving us well, or we haven't taken full advantage?
Yeah, I don't think we've taken full advantage. I think it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
Especially with the US system, when they are done with school, they sort of hit a roadblock, and then it's very difficult for them. Now they need to find that balance between work life and athletics life, because obviously you need to make money to be able to afford training, afford these high-end competitions to keep in the zone ahead of some of these major competitions. So it's very difficult for them to do that. That's why I say it doesn't necessarily benefit us. From when you talk about where it benefits us, it's sort of when you streamline it from high school to university level, it gives them that avenue where a talent like Ando Kofi knows that if he does well, if he gets to university, he probably has a shot at high quality facilities, top training at these US universities. But again, it's the end product. At the end of it, there was a support
after
that.
We send them there and then
that is it. But that is not the end of it, because the funny thing is that they meet some of these athletes that we talk about today, the world beaters, the Shakaris. They all come from that system.
Julian Alfred.
But when they are done, they have that proper transition between student athletes to professional. Yeah. And then I was listening to Usain Bolt's podcast with Gatlin over the weekend. And Bolt was talking about how, in fact, everybody on the podcast was talking about how certain competitions used to call them and negotiate with them, offer them money to come. Yeah. That's where these Americans, these Jamaicans get to, where they don't need to pay to enter. They are literally being offered money to enter. And when you talk about the talent level, the funny thing is that I was doing some research. You know that Coleman's World Indoor Championship record, where the one he broke after, the one that was set in 1999 was set by Leo Mills, a Ghanaian. So that record has stood since 1999, and it took Coleman in 2017 to break that record. But you look at the career projection of Leo Mills and you look at that of Coleman, and it's completely different. Leo, after school, he struggled, was just relays. He didn't necessarily go on to be Ghana's main man. When in the collegiate system, he looked like the next big thing. But Coleman went on to be world champion and things. Yeah. We've not helped ourselves. And the funny thing is that this is a story from 1999 and it's still the same today. So what are we doing to make sure that when they finish this or when they finish school, they can make that proper transition and the talent can carry them on? Look at Azamati, who today is struggling to qualify for the world indoors. But on paper, he's the fastest Ghanaian ever. So why should it be so? And that's because he's gone through very long periods without having to struggle to earn money to enter some of these competitions. The level of the training facilities that he's getting is not up to the standard of when he was in school. So it's
and the state has supported him a lot. One person that has supported him a lot, though, is his coach, Elorm Amenakpor. He started with him here at the University of Ghana.
He's helping.
Elorm, will you stop shouting?
Elorm Amenakpor.
Can you shift? Let me see the guy well.
Sorry, but why will you put the screen over here? So that every time I'm the one who has to change myself.
From there. Thank you. Listen, Elorm. I mean, you're rapping ASICs.
Wait. Elorm, are you producing some music or something?
Charlie, the background. No, sorry, no.
You're mixing some beats for somebody.
Charlie, it's a top producer. Some producer.
No, it's just the home office.
Listen, guys, Elorm used to be Azamati's coach at the University of Ghana. Then Azamati got scholarship to go to West Texas A&M. And then a year later, this guy got scholarship to go there and then to go and continue training him. It's a brilliant story. It's a brilliant love story between the two of them. Now, as he's finished school, he's gone on to other endeavors, and he's left Elorm in Texas, West Texas, all by himself. But Elorm, listen, I'm sure you were listening to Danny about the lack of support system for athletes and all of that when they go to the US collegiate system. You are there. You are even now a recruiter. In fact, if somebody has to come to West Texas A&M on an athletic program, they will come on the recommendation of Elorm. Elorm would have to be one of those people to tell the whole University of West Texas A&M that this guy is good. We are bringing him. Elorm, I'm sure your school and the coaching staff at the school were keenly watching this interco. What can you tell us about the talents that they've identified so far, and what plans are you already making?
Well, this year inter-schools have been very special because it has been away for about 4 years. And I love the media coverage, and I'm more interested in that central region boy. And you look at his running style. I mean, the drive. He's almost like a kind of a complete sprinter. His running mechanism is just too good, and I think if well handled. Is going to be a force to reckon with when it comes to sprinting in Ghana. And you look at Central Region and Ashanti Region, they have been doing this for a very long time. Every track and field Zonas, the stadium is full to capacity. I think I was there 2020 in February when a stadium have to be practically closed because it was full to capacity. They have to call the national security to close the stadium. Yeah. But the question is, after this, they have to wait for another year to compete again. I think that's not enough for a country that want to develop a talent that will be competing at the highest level, talent that will be meeting people at the junior Olympics, that are under 17, the youth Olympics, under 20, and all those stuff. What I'm thinking is that, like, there should be a way out. Recently, I listened to the new sports minister saying that there's going to be a school sports authority that would handle school sport. There must be a league system as it is done here in the US and other countries. The inter-school super zonas alone is not enough. I mean, there must be a way that every year, not every 2 years, that the whole nation meet for the sports festival that they call it. And it shouldn't be something that we just come to play all the sports at once. No, athletics is an individual kind of game. The only teamwork among it is the relay. You understand? And athletics is one sport that people call it the king of all sports, kind of. Look, there must be a way that maybe in the first semester, now the secondary schools are running semesters. In the first semester, let them do the game sports. Then athletics also come in the second semester. And with that, I mean, and it's an annual thing. And let it be a ranking. Ghana Athletics is having one of the state-of-the-art timing system in the country right now. And if they are able to time their rank, here is ranking. You don't just qualify because your school qualified. You must be there because, let's say in the country, if they are looking for 36 people to be in the 100 meters, you are able to be in the 36. So in Ashanti region, there can be a case that 20 people are from Ashanti region. It can also be a case that 5 people are from the same school. You see, that makes it competitive. That's going to make it a point for the old students to help their school, to push their school. That's going to give a wake-up call for the region to want to produce more athletes to be in that level. Thanks. I think one of your parallels said, we need that conveyor belt. Yeah. That would, push those athletes beyond the super zonas. And every athlete don't have to be in the US to make it to the professional level like Azamati and Jopo right now. They are the 2 professional athletes we have at the moment. So, for instance, we have a very good stadium in Ghana right now, like the University of Ghana Stadium. That stadium is incomplete. That stadium is about 85% complete because there's no way that you have a stadium like University of Ghana Stadium without a weight room. It's not possible. So no professional athletes can. We have a good track. They're one of the best in the world. The Mundo, the best in the world. Grade A is put at University of Ghana Stadium. But the question is, for let's say Poma I'm coming to Ghana to train. Fred Kelly, I'm coming to Ghana to train, and there's no weight, which is one of the essential components of sprint training. In that stadium, then it's not good. I don't know the people who advised during the construction of the stadium, but it's not the best thing to do.
That's an interesting point that you make there about the University of Ghana Stadium, because I'm working on a piece on the legacy of the stadium 1 year on, and I was gonna interview Elorm on this exact thing. He's giving me the answer that I need, the insight that I need, basically. But Elorm, one critical thing that has been the theme of our athletes is that every year we send tens of athletes to the US collegiate system. Every year we send athletes. Every year we send athletes. Every year we send athletes. We've been doing that, and credit to the Ghana Athletics, that was a great initiative. They have been doing that for the better part of 10 years now. But up until now, you just mentioned we only have 2 of them who have somehow managed to go professional. Only 2. And if I'm not mistaken, for the past 10 years, athletes that Ghana Athletics has helped go to the US collegiate system are approaching maybe 100, if I'm not mistaken. But only,
even more than.
Yeah, thank you. But only 2 of them have somehow, in all those years, have managed to go professional. And even for those 2, you would agree with me that even their level is not at a place where their potential should have them. What is the issue with the US collegiate system that our athletes, when we send them there, they go and mix with the Julian Alfreds, the Colemans, and these guys go on to become top professionals, winning medals, but our athletes just cannot simply do it. Because Deborah Aqua was at Texas A&M, the same school that had, some of the top athletes, Fred Kelly, and all these, and they went on to become world beaters. And yet, Deborah is falling on the wayside. LSU, we've had students there in the past. It's not turned out well. But Shakar Richardson has come out of there. Mundo Duplantis has come out of there. So then my question again, what is the issue with the collegiate system that is not helping our athletes?
The support system, let me take it from this area, this angle. When you look at the NCAA, it has division. They have the Division 1, Division 2, and the Division 3. Then another sports organization is the JUCO, the junior college. Yes. The junior college doesn't give stipend to the athletes. You go to NAIA, they also don't give, most of them don't give stipend to the athletes. Even some of the Division 2, don't give stipend to the athlete. That was the case of Kadma Yamwa just recently. So Division 1 is the highest division in the country. Yeah. Now, for our athletes to compete, let me put this on record. The stipend they even give is just 8 months. That means first semester, second semester, so 8. The 4 months, the athletes have to be on their own. If you don't save money from the stipend that is given to you, you are going to struggle within that 4 months that is there. It happened a lot of time. So that means you have to save money to be able to pay for your rents. Rents, the minimum that you pay around here in the US is around 600 to from 700 going. You see, all those athletes that you mentioned, the Shakaris, Fred Kelly, Poma, and all those things that are able to make it to the highest level of the sports, that is track and field, have the support system over here. They are in their home, and then they do very well. Let's say an athlete goes to a JUCO. He or she is going to spend 2 years over there, then maybe transfer to a D1 or D2 and all those things. The most challenging thing that our athletes face over here is that the season ends in June. Mm-hmm. Between that June and then to July, August, where the World Championship happen or the major tournaments happen, that is a very big challenge. There's a lot of instances. I've met a lot of athletes that their countries rented room for them, paying coaches, and giving them stipend just to train. They call it the developmental program. 4 years, 5 years, you just have to be improving. You don't necessarily have to win something, but you must improve to be some type of athlete that the country wants. But we don't have that system in Ghana. If the money that I hate saying this, if the money that we spend on football in Ghana, we can just spend even 10% or even 5% of it on track and field, Captain Food have been on the putting Ghana on the map since 2019 when this crop of athletes, the Dupont, Azamati, and those athletes came to the limelight. I mean, they have been doing so well all over the year till now. At least they qualified. We came close 2022 in Oregon, finishing fifth. One would have thought that we are going to improve more on that, and then doing more qualifying. Not just qualifying, but finish. But that is not happening. I mean, we return from major competitions, talk about this, promises will be made. It all become this in a lip service. Nothing is done, and then we have to wait. Other countries started preparing for Olympic Games till now. Now, they started preparing for the 2028 Olympic Game already. Yeah. But are we doing the same thing? Let me tell you, this year's World Championship is going to be the most difficult one for Ghana because it is in September. All the athletes are going to be in school in September because school is in August. So they are going to be in school in September. What are the plans for them to be very active, be in shape, not dipping in form? Because one of the coaching principles of reversibility says that if you have it, you don't use it, you lose it. Right. So how are they going to be in shape to that September? It's something that just after June, we need to start another preparation for them. After June, there's no competition over here. Are we going to open a camp in Europe or in Asia where they are able to have a lot of competitions to run proud to that game? We just in May, we have the World Relays coming up. Nobody's talking about it, but we are talking about Black Star that have not qualified for African Games that is happening in, I think, January or so. You see, those are some of the things that we need to talk about. Yeah. Sometimes I feel sad when people come to bash these athletes not doing well, not doing this and that. Dupont and Azamati, they are the only professional athletes that we have right now. They run for ASICs. But again, these kids here paying their coaches, paying for gym subscriptions, have to pay their rent, medicals, and a whole lot of things. Pay their nutritionists, pay their psychologists, and everything from their pockets. But when they don the national jersey, everybody is expecting something from them, which is normal, because the fact that you are wearing the national colors, nobody cares. The fact that you are in the colors, you must perform for them to be satisfied about. But this actually goes through a lot, and I'm just hoping that the new government, the new sports minister, shouldn't be just a football minister, but for minister for all, the minister for especially the sports that are doing well in the country at the moment, so that they are able to put Ghana where it belongs.
Brilliantly put. And just to bring clarity to what Elorm is saying about the June to August, the thing is that our students, our athletes are all student athletes, apart from Dupont and Azamati at the moment. Mm-hmm. Now, school ends in June, when they finish the NCAA competitions. Now, the school closes. Call vacation, everyone is gone home. Now, the athletes must also go home. Now, when they go home, they can no longer train in school because school is on vacation.
It's closed,
Then, so the whole of June they are home, the whole of July they are home, the whole of August they are home, and the school reopens towards the end of August. That's what he said. So during that period, the serious countries will give money to their athletes to continue to train in other places where training facilities or centers of excellence
and they have to register.
Yes, because they have to pay coaches, gym subscription, track meet, all of that stuff. In our case, the moment school goes on vacation, we forget about the athletes for 3 months. And then they come back in August for Olympic Games. And then when they don't do well, then we start bashing them. Now, he mentions this year, it's going to even be longer. Because then it means after NCAA championship ends in June and school closes, you have June, because the NCAA championship is the first week of June. At most, 12th June is done. So you have the whole of June, the whole of July, the whole of August, and then September when they're now just coming back to school, where they have gone to do a summer job. Because Elorm is right, because during that period too, there's no stipend. So if you don't do a summer job, how do you support yourself? So they're not training, they've been home doing summer job, then September we say we are going to World Championship in Tokyo. Then we wear JC, then Ghanaians will be shouting, yeah, Azao, Azza power. Then you'll be shouting, you Paul. Then you'll be shouting. Then when they go and the baton change doesn't go well, then you say, Chia. You understand? You don't, it's almost like, that's what he says, that he understands why people will be disappointed, but if you know the stories behind how they even got there, you would appreciate their journey.
Absolutely. I don't think anybody should even be disappointed with. I think they need to be celebrated because they sacrifice a lot.
A lot.
I mean, to be where they are, they sacrifice a lot. The States keeps disappointing some of these athletes who, otherwise, if they were from other countries, they would have benefited a lot more. I think we need to just redefine how we perceive sports and not lump it all together. Even when we come to sports, let's deal with football as football. Let's deal with athletics as athletics because the dynamics are completely different. If a footballer is with an academy, the academy is responsible for the player all year round. But if you have a scholarship for an athlete, it's an individual sport.
To give them the money.
The dynamics are completely different. Like boxing is different. It's like we are lumping everything together. So we've got one idea of what sports is. And I think that's what's letting us down. We need people who are specialized in different categories of the sport to man it, bring up policies that guides us in the way we execute it. Otherwise, some way.
We'll keep going in circle. Last thing, Elorm, before you go, he mentioned something very significant, and I want him to give you an example just to illustrate that. He talks about the JUCO, the junior college system. And it's one of the problems that we have in this country, that when we are sending the students to the US, we don't necessarily send them to the right level. So we send some of them to junior colleges, to D2 school. Azamati has even done well to be where he is. Because he was in a D2 school where at the beginning, it was very obvious that he was far better than all of the people he was competing with. Perhaps, and this is my personal opinion, if Azamati had gone to a D1 school, his level would have been way different. Because the competition at the D1 schools are much higher. You understand? But the JUCO thing is so devastating because it literally killed one of our most talented athletes. That system. Because we just were desperate to send her to America. We sent her to America to junior college. Wholeheartedly. Am I right, Elorm? Because this is a Commonwealth Games finalist, and then we send her to America and send her to a junior college. And a few years later, nobody knows where she is.
Well, you see, when you look at the JUCO system produced a lot of athletes too. You look at this lady, Janet Ponsa, she broke the national record when she was in the JUCO. James Dancy broke the national record when he was in the JUCO. We have a lot of good coaches in the JUCO system. But, you know, as a foreign national in America, I mean, coaches don't give you money because the law prohibits it. You have to find a way. You have to depend on significant orders to be able to fend for yourself, and it's very difficult. It takes a toll on a lot of athletes. Athletes that are mentally tough, they are able to, go through it. Notwithstanding that, JUCO, the reason why a lot of Ghanaian athletes don't go to D1 or D2 is a lot of things come to play. Your academic qualifications. Let's take D2 for example. You must have at least a GPA of 2.0 to be able to go to a D2. You must have at least 2.3 and above to be able to go to a D1. D1 is almost like an elite sport. They have the most coverage, the media, sponsorship, everything is in the D1. Then you come to D2, academics and everything. You see, that is most of the reason that a lot of our athletes don't end up in the D1. The D2, a lot of when we are sending out athletes, some of the coaches just want already made. They want you to be running exceptionally well before you get to the US. Let's take Azamati, for example. When we were looking for a school, I mean, we reached out to a lot of D1 schools. By that time, his PB was 10.5. A lot of the D1 schools said, oh, he's not up to the D1 level and all those things. So it was West Texas A&M University at that moment that was ready to take him. God be so good, he went to the World University game, boom, dropped the time to 10.35. And at that time that other universities were trying to come in, West Texas had given him anything. He has signed a scholarship with West Texas A&M already. To stay another, to sign for a new school, he has to stay out of contract with West Texas A&M for 1 year. So there was no way he was going to go to a different school, and he didn't want to waste that whole 1 year in Ghana again. So he has to go to West Texas A&M University. I mean, he ran fast in the first year, and he felt like there was no need for him to go to a D1. I mean, for a very long time, we have not seen someone in a D2 and signing a deal. You said if he were to go to D1, it would have been far better. That's true. The competition over there is it's just like the World Championship or the Olympics game before Olympics when you are watching the D1 national. And if they tell you that those are students running, you will not believe it. Yeah. This season, last year, Rashid ran 6.57 to make the national and even finish as All-American. This year, he ran the same time, couldn't make it. Yeah. So, the competition in the D1 is so keen. Like, you need to be there. Yeah, it depends on the coach those athletes are going to be with. Let's say Rose, I mean, his coach has a track record. Rose Yeboah has a track record of making a lot of Olympians and all those things. Rose went to D1 and then she's doing so well. So it's cut across. I think in the high school, in the high school, if we want the athletes to come to the US over here, they have to take their academics serious. Here they can ground the whole school for academic reason. When I say they can ground, they can stop a whole, let's say, for instance, West Texas A&M University. NCA can say that this year you are not participating in sports because the whole accumulative GPA put together is not good. You see, and they have a system that when the semester ends, the result of athletes all goes to NCA. So there's no way you can. Sports is not in isolation from academics. As an athlete, every semester you have to make sure that your GPA point is 2.0 at least. Yeah. If not, you are not going to be in the sports. A lot of students in Ghana, student sport athletes in Ghana think when they are sports guys or girls, they don't have to go to the classroom. Yeah, they don't have to study. So you come here, you are going to struggle. Because the system is totally different. There's something where you do. Coaches call for grade points. After 6 weeks, they call for grade points. If you're not doing well, they will look for extra tuition for you. But the moment you are not able to be eligible, they cut you off because they are spending thousands of dollars on you just to compete for the school. So if you're not going to be able to compete for the school, then there's no need spending that kind of money on you. I mean, if you have some... So when the season starts, sometimes if not injury, and you don't see some athletes competing, it's because I think academically they are not eligible to compete. So
Thank you. Listen, this conversation has been very enlightening. I wish we could keep it going. Yeah. Obviously, for those that say that we don't like... we only like football. Everybody knows that if they left us alone, we will talk athletics till tomorrow. But Elorm, we appreciate your time. It was late notice, but we appreciate that you could join us. Thank you so much for all the insights you brought. How many of our athletes are in D1 schools now? Rose and Rashid, anyone else?
We have Rose, we have Rashid, we have Solomon Hammond, we have Husseini, but Husseini is in D1, but when the school moved from D2 to D1, you'll be in probation for 4 years before now being admitted into the D1. So I think next year before his school, Husseini school, will be admitted into the D1. But right now they are in D1, but they just compete up to conference level.
Okay.
So from next year, they will now be admitted into D1. If Hussein had been their school in the mainstream of D1, he would have been running in the national next week.
And you must be very happy because this is an exciting era for sprinters, because potentially this year's World Championship, we could have more than 3 people making the time. And in that case, we must have a national championships. Because all of them are running well. James Dazi is back. Rashid is running well. Husseini is running well. Joe Paul is there. Azamati is there. That is a long list of potential athletes that could qualify.
It's going to happen. It's really going to happen because, when you look at the time that they are running this year, and I was able to visit Benjamin Azamati at his camp. The coach made this categorically clear that he's not interested in the indoor game. You realize that Fred Kelly never ran any of the indoor. So Azamati was not trained for the indoor. He just want to run the indoor. And I believe Husseini, Rashid, James coming back, so Muhammad also ran some decent time. The boy, there's a new boy coming out, Mustafa Bopin. I mean, this is first season in the US, and he was able to run 6.60. Like, he's one of the guys to watch out for. But what we have to be doing right now is the ladies team. The World Relay, the men have qualified already, but the ladies have to run a time to be able to make it to the World Relays. And we are appealing to the government. It will take money for them to, put them together. They are going to fly from other states in America to be able to assemble at the Pens Relay. So they should make that preparation ahead of time, inform their coaches and all those things so that they are able to run in the Pens Relay, run a reasonable time so that in May, they are also able to be at the World Relays, trying to make it to the World Championship. We can't concentrate on the men's team alone. For some time ago, the women's team was doing so well, and the men came in. Then we forgot about the women a bit. So we need to put a team together and try to qualify to the World Relay and possibly qualify to the World Champs.
All right, thank you, Elorm. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you a lot. Thank you. And all the best. My regards to everybody. Danica, would you like to go to the World Relays? Of course. It's in Guangzhou, China. Yeah, Guangzhou.
The indoors in China,
yes.
The World Relays in China, and the World Championships in Tokyo. Asia is taking it.
All right, guys. I've got a lot of messages here. Nana Kojo from watching in Regina, Saskatchewan. Yeah. All the way in Canada. He says Barcelona is definitely doing a double this season. With the way we are playing. This was a hello friend. It's such another great day here at Sports Zone. It's my birthday today. We'll tell Danny and Sicho I'm waiting patiently for my birthday gift. Hala Madrid. This is Joseph from Bandi. You get a birthday wish from them. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Joe.
Happy birthday, Joe.
Is that Karim's card?
Karim's village, yes.
Oh, then Karim will do it.
Karim will do it. Charlie, happy birthday.
Grandson, yeah. What a wonderful weekend without Enzo Maresca's stress. Man United and Madrid lost even made me feel better. Please, allow Karim to function. Karim be the guy. Hey, he can chew figures. So, hashtag Karim Baumia. This is Muhammad Shaibu from Tamale. Are you sure Karim didn't send this himself? Barnabas from Boku says, keep up your good works. Arsenal should consider sacking Mikel Arteta if Slot wins the EPL in his first season as a Liverpool manager. We Arsenal fans have been seeing the same performance from Arsenal for the past 2 seasons. They always take second place and say next season they will win, and then they never win. All right. Niamu from Apollonia says, I'm watching Super Zoo within the week. No, he says, watching Super Zoo within the week brought some nostalgic feelings, Charlie. However, proud of my Butcher guys, and also I hope national competition is organized at the University of Ghana Stadium. Yeah, we have to organize a national inter-school championship so that they bring all the best schools from all the regions. Fifi Aite says, I'm very happy. Fifi Aite, my good friend, says, I'm very happy how the media focused on the Suzo this season. As you schooled in the States, you know how the NCAA championship is and how it encourages talents. Our only problem is the transition from students to world beaters. Hopefully, we will get there. Congratulations to my Prempeh College for winning the Ashanti region Suzo. Prosper and Adenta said, good evening, friend. The problem is nobody is interested in this case development. We need an athletics association who will train the kids and help them achieve their aims. It will really help expand our sports. Greet Danny K for me. All right, thank you, Prosper. This one says, the show hasn't started, but it's very interesting. All right. This message says, I'm watching you live from La Paz. I love your African print. Thank you very much. Man United, our team don't spoil with that too. I don't know how many goals we also said that are going to disgrace us with. Jacobsko, the safe boy from Yeji, says, these athletes are amazing, but the question is, can they support can they be supported to reach their full potential? The answer is no. This senior high school's athletic competition is something that is being organized every year and each year, and there's always talents identified, and those talents usually are allowed to rot. So I have seen this athletic competition, and it's usually organized for fun and nothing else, he says. All right. Dear friend, to have realized that this year's Suzo is most of the track athletes run leaning backwards while the professionals go the other way. This needs to be corrected. They run as if they cut 7 for car front. All jokes aside, it's a worry. That's from Big Boss. I mean, running posture differs, right? I mean, when you're getting out of the blocks, it's called the dry phase. That dry phase can last maybe 10, 15 meters. After the dry phase, then you have the sprint phase. You get up, chest up. Some people have flailing arms. So all of those things can be corrected. One of the best running postures, in fact, my favorite running posture is Ellen Thompson. She's she's so like there is nothing.
It's very similar to Asafa Power.
Yes, it's very straight and it's amazing. So let's talk about FA Cup now. Manchester United were knocked out by Fulham on penalties after the game ended in a 1-1 draw. We'll take the highlights right now. After that, we'll have some analysis for you. Okay, so Anna, out of League Cup, out of FA Cup, to be knocked out of Europa League. I mean, what a horrible season for Man United. It's all just falling apart now, isn't it? Only bright spots is Bruno Fernandes. And yet, I see a lot of United fan base getting at him. Saw the Roy Keane video.
No. He's had a bad season. I mean, we know Bruno's quality, but let's not look at how good we think or we know him to be and give him a pass for the kind of season he's having. He's not been better than any of the players in the team. They've all been bad. He's had terrible run of games.
He's been the best player.
No, he's not.
No?
I don't think he is. I mean, the last 2 months, I'm going to say maybe Ugarte has, in every game, shown that he's one of the players you would say he's been more consistent in performances. I think Bruno Fernandes overall in this season has been bad.
I see.
I mean, that's not to say he's not a good player, but I think he's one of the players who's been affected by, everything happening in and around the club. And it's for many players, so you're not going to single him out. But I'm not going to say because we know his quality. So, yeah, I mean, he's saving the team or he's playing above this level for the team. No, he's also been as bad. His passing game hasn't been on. He's misfired a couple of times. Again, he lacks the tactical discipline of the ball because when the team has to press in unison, he tends to go solo and leaves gaps. He leaves gaps. The last Premier League game United played and consider, I think, United played against who? The last Premier League game.
Who?
Have I forgotten
United?
that? The first goal United considered in that goal was Bruno Fernandes, who's making that run, dashing out to press a ball he should never be pressed. The ball gets in behind him, and in the end, United are suffering it. So yeah, I think that it's fair.
Was this an expected result?
Well, I don't think anybody's really surprised. I don't think anybody's really surprised. You are
Ipswich.
Ipswich, yeah, that was the Ipswich game. The Onana and Maguire mess.
Yeah.
It started from Bruno Fernandes, Ipswich. I don't think anybody's looking at this result and is really surprised that Man United didn't beat Fulham, in 90 minutes. Again, if that was a league game, they are walking away from the game with a point. It's an FA Cup game, so they go into a short time and they lose on penalties. And it's been the story of their season, at least the second half of the season. Amorim has taken a team that was average to a team that has become very, very poor.
Yeah.
And that is why...
How did that happen? How did Amorim inherit a team that was churning out very average results under Ten Hag, results that were considered very dissatisfactory. Then Amorim comes in, he has a couple of good results, and then things just seem to have fallen apart right now. It's like it's all gone downhill since he came.
Look, Amorim, he said it. He's not going to change what he believes is his principle. He's not going to change his style. He's not going to change the way he thinks of the game, not the way the players should line up and the way they should play. And unfortunately for him, the players that he's got perhaps are not equipped to play the way he wants to play. I think over the months that he's been here, it's clear that his team can't simply, play the way he wants them to play. But the other thing is that people must start asking themselves is, the way Amorim wants to play, would it even matter what kind of players he's got in the squad? Are there real problems with his style, system, and principles in the Premier League? Yes, it might have worked in the Portuguese league. It might have worked for a team who, whenever they went into big games, play like underdogs. So when you saw Sporting play against City, when you saw them play and do well in big games in Europe, they went in there as underdogs. And to be fair to him, when United has played as underdogs under Amorim, they've played well. They held Liverpool, they beat Man City.
They beat Arsenal.
They beat Arsenal. So when they've had to play as underdogs, they've thrived. But when they've played against other teams, they just don't seem to find a way to get around these teams. They become too expansive. They become somewhat lethargic. They look like players who are not operating the same wavelength. So Amorim himself must ask the questions about his style and his principles, even though I genuinely believe that a group of players that he's got is not set for him to deliver in the way he wants to play. But with the results that keeps coming out, you doubt if the manager's style and philosophy is good enough maybe in the Premier League. But he'll always have an excuse of pointing to the squad and saying, that is not his team. He didn't put that team together. He didn't put that squad together. So at the moment, almost everything is on the doorsteps of Ineos, the owners.
They are now cutting meals from the staff. It's a whole lot going on at Man United. Let's look at the quarterfinal appearance now. DK is opened up for Manchester City.
Friend, I think it's spiritual.
What is spiritual? Even the Man U problem is spiritual.
Spiritus.
Saturday.
When I come back to your mind, one says the thing is spiritual.
Sunday, 7 p.m. I saw something. You see the way Sakawa, when the boys go for Sakawa,
yes,
they give them time limit. So you get money 15 years. Ferguson did something.
The time catch.
They said success, 26 years.
No, because the guy was in charge for 26 years. How many league titles did he win?
13.
What is 2 times 13?
26.
You see?
So a Premier League title every other season.
You see?
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
How many Champions League titles did he win?
2.
The whole time he won 2.
Yes.
How many Champions League final did he lose?
He lost 3. He lost 2.
Yeah, you see that thing.
2 defeats, 2 wins.
Everything is half. So, Ferguson.
I don't know how that...
Ferguson, he has halved Man United's destiny. He went to do some agreement with somewhere. And the team has halved our destiny. So, like, the team, friend, this team is not half as bad. It doesn't make sense. Amorim is not this... Against Ipswich.
Yesterday, I was watching the game
struggling.
with Majidi said, man, what's wrong with the Asset? I don't know.
No, friends, look. Man United are bad at everything. They can't keep possession comfortably. They can't defend comfortably. Attacking set pieces is difficult for them. Defending set pieces is difficult for them. In transition, you can easily get them. United are poor everywhere. And it doesn't make sense. Like, the Leicester City game, the game before this round, Leicester City is literally the worst defensive team in the league. United didn't... It's not that they struggled to score. United struggled to create chances in that game.
Yeah.
And it took an offside goal. Thank God for VR. An offside goal.
I think the game was even talking about that was the Everton game, the 2-0.
The 2-0, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, it's so bad. It's so bad. It doesn't
It's
make
hard to understand, honestly.
Like, you can't use English to...
No.
It's spiritual.
Because the personnel aren't bad. Because you take those players into another system, into another scenario, another environment, they will do well.
How many FA Cups did Ferguson win?
Massa.
Is it 8? No, it isn't 8.
He didn't win that many.
No, it wasn't. No, not that many.
I think it's probably like 5.
5 or something.
He didn't win that many.
Why you think you are looking to see if it will fit in there?
No. The finals he lost, man.
It's half.
He have one of destiny.
Oh, God.
No, but look, I think...
He won 5 FA Cups, I was right.
5 FA Cups, yeah. Ineos have got a massive job today. And my problem is if, there are teams where you can write off the season, you know that next season they can invest well and come back well.
Yeah.
But when you look at Man United, you look at Ineos, you wonder where they go from here because it doesn't look like they have the money to strengthen the squad. And look, there's massive competition for quality players because there are many teams that can play where players want to play. Many teams can go into Europe. Many teams can compete for titles these days because the money is even across the division. So and now at the moment, Man United would have to. It looks like they have to sell some players to be able to buy. But when you look around the squad, who are the assets? I mean, who are they really going to sell? Like, apart from maybe Bruno Fernandes, who have a fair price on a reasonable price on the market.
Yeah.
How much are they going to sell Ghanaian for? How much are they going to sell Minu for?
Sexy.
How much are they going to sell? I mean, Anthony's doing well with Betis. That's his level, so he will thrive. But how much is Betis going to pay? Not even close to half of what United invested in him.
They don't have the money.
Zexi will attract some money. The guy is here, if you take it and you put it on the market, you go straight.
We still got a lot to go through, so I want to go to Karim quickly because I need to take you to Spain. Daniel has a match day presentation, and then Italy, of course, Inter Milan, because Chicho has a lot to say there. Inter are doing wonders. So Karim, no messing around today. You already came here and wasted our 5 minutes by walking into the set when you were not invited. How are you? I love your outfit. Your batakari is nice.
Thanks. You see what Daniel Grant is, my friend?
Why?
You see what happened when I came in? It's like when you enter the river without testing the depth of the water. And Daniel Grant came to save me when I entered.
You sing. Oh, yeah, I had to save you.
You see, Daniel Grant is my friend. That's why when he was sick, I dedicated 2 Quranic verses to him and he was healed.
Instantly?
Yes. And it's Ramadan. I'll dedicate 1 whole day fast for him.
Quick.
Yes, that's why he's my friend.
That's my guy.
Anyway, let's go. Over the weekend again, we got a lot of talented players showing what they can do for Ghana. And the one in goal this weekend is Jordan Amisa. He plays for Ross County, that is in the Scottish Premiership. And they played against Kilmarnock, that is over the weekend. They won 1-0. In that game, he made 4 saves, 4 fantastic saves, and prevented a goal in that game. It means that if he had not prevented that goal, Ross County would have been drawing a goal 1-1. And this season, he has 4 clean sheets in the 11 games he has played for Ross County in the Scottish Premiership. And at right back, Kingsley Schindler, he plays for Samsonspor. They were losing 2-0 when he was brought on in the second half, and he scored to make it 2-1, and they went on to draw 2-2. Then at the 2 centre-backs, this is the 3rd week running that they are in the team of the week. That is Kasim Adams. Kasim Adams plays for Servette now, that is in the Swiss Super League. And over the weekend, they played against Lausanne, and they won 1-0 in that game. He was fantastic for them, 100% of the duels he contested. Then Joseph Atamalawe plays for Kayserispor, and they lost 2-0 to Besiktas. But if you are looking at his individual performances in that game, he was a standout performer for Kayserispor.
To be fair to Atamalawe, he's featured a lot in Karim's team.
Yeah. 3 weeks. It's now 3 weeks in a row.
3 weeks in a row, huh?
Yeah.
And Jeffrey Schlupp scored for Celtic, and they won 5-2 against St. Mirren, also in the Scottish Premiership, scored and assisted for them. Then Edmond Ado, he is also found home at OFK Beograd, that is in the Serbian Super League, and they won against Radniki, and in that game, he was the 2nd player with the most defensive actions involvement, and half of those, that is 7, were tackles in that game. Then also in the same game, that is OFK Beograd, they won against Radniki. There was also Samuel Owusu. He came off the bench to score the 2nd goal for them. Then another player I would like to touch on is Ibrahim Zubeiru. He scored again for...
That's second week in a row he's been
second week in a row. And he has scored three games in a row now for Partizan Belgrade. Then Andre Ayew, that is where the issue is.
Capito.
Do you have his goal?
Yeah, I don't have his goal, but what I'm coming to do, maybe it's important that the goal. He scored for them, that is his fourth, that is for Le Havre, and they won 4-3 against Lens. That is he scored in that game. That was his fourth league goal of the season. Out of 17 games he has played, 10 of them were starts. And it means that now he has 4 goals and 1 assist. It means if he starts 2 games, there's a possibility that you provide an assist.
There's a goal involvement.
Score a goal. He's 5 goals involvement in 10 starts. Let's look at this. This is where the juice is. These are the top 5 scoring Ghanaian players in Europe's top 5.
Capito.
And looking at number 1, Semenyo, out of 26 games he has played in the Premier League, he has scored 7 goals and provided 4 assists. Iñaki Williams, 25 games in La Liga.
25.
He has scored 5 goals and provided 8 assists. That is 1 more goal contribution than Semenyo. Then Jordan Ayew, 23 games in the Premier League. He has 4 goals, 0 assists. Last season he had 8 assists after the whole of last season. Maybe he will still make the comeback and help Leicester survive the relegation. Then this is the big talking point. Andre Ayew. All these players have played more games than him. He has started just 17 games played. He has 4 goals and 3 assists. Danny K, he's now the 3rd highest scoring Ghanaian player. Are you bringing him back?
No. The team is struggling for goals.
Yes.
The Black Stars scored how many? 3 goals in 6 games.
Yeah.
In 8, actually.
Look, there's no better goal scorer. There's no better fox in the box than Andre Ayew.
And all the 4 goals. The 4 goals he has scored, all of them came inside.
Inside the box.
Okay. And 3 of them were headers.
Yes.
If
Bakari, finish your point.
we don't have a number 9, it's factus. We don't. Semenyo, Iñaki, they are not foxes in the box. We need somebody who is lethal. The issue with Andre is we don't use him well.
Exactly.
You bring him, you play him in the wide areas, you play him number 10. Put him in the box.
But there was some games
He's
deep line
playmaker against Brazil.
Yeah, so
how do you expect him to compete with Casemiro? Put him in the box. You see, it's about how you use the player. If you use him well, he'll give you the results. They have a struggling team in France, top 5 leagues, leagues in Europe, and he's banging in there. And we are sitting there, we are looking for something we have, but because we are trying to, why are you trying to recycle the thing when you know it?
I think, Karim, sorry, I think the problem with Andre is if he can accept the role
of a bit part player.
Of perhaps a bit part player. If the coach can have that conversation with him that, look, you're going to have a part to play in the team when it is needed, but these are the scenarios where I would need you. So if the games are not playing out to those scenarios, Andre shouldn't be a distraction to the team.
Yeah.
By wanting necessarily, because we know Andre, he wants to play. And it's not his fault. He's passionate about the Black Stars. He wants to be there. He can't sit on the bench and want the Black Stars struggling. But if the game is going on in a way that the coach would need somebody to just take it in around the box, I think he's still, in my opinion, the best goal scorer in the Black Stars when he's in that show.
So you favor return for him?
I think I will.
We need that option.
I really think I will.
We need that option.
If you've got Andre in the box, and Danny says it, if you're using him well and he's getting those services in the box, he might not score, but his presence alone can be a distraction. I would consider it.
Karim, you're going to say something?
Yes, I wanted to emphasize on the point Daniel was making. You see him right. If you are looking at this game, he has touched the ball only 11 times. If he's touching the ball 11 times, one time he touched the ball was a goal. Another time he touched the ball was an assist.
Wow.
And do you know how many passes he completed? He attempted 4 passes and completed all of them. It's not about
looking busy.
You seem well. That is the point.
I mean, if monitoring him closely,
That's
I
crazy.
don't know what I'm talking about. Is he changing his game a little bit? Has he? We know Andre likes to get around, look for the ball.
He tends to stay up a bit more.
He's not connecting.
Right.
He does, but how he created the first goal, it was like coming outside the box with his back to the goal, taking the ball and just
Center
placing
forward.
it simple.
Ah,
There's
player.
no need.
Player Kaputu.
Karim, thank you. Thank you very much. That was brilliant stuff. What about you guys? Would you favor a return to the national team for Andre Ayew? It looks like Otoado has moved on from him. He's named captain. Andre Ayew is not in the plans whatsoever. Anyway, so let's do La Liga very quickly, and then we'll show you some Champions League fixtures, because Daniel wants to show us something quickly from that game involving FC Barcelona. But let's show you the Madrid game very quickly. They lost again. How are Barcelona? This is the table right now. They have a 1-point lead over Atletico Madrid in second. Atletico also won this weekend, but Real Madrid are 3 points behind. It's crazy how this season has gone, because there was a point where Barca were 9 points ahead.
Yeah.
Then there was a point Real Madrid were 8 points ahead.
Yeah.
And it's a ding-dong affair.
Nobody wants to win it. So.
Yeah, nobody wants to win. Or nobody wants to take full advantage. But I'm happy
But Atletico Madrid have always been in and around. In and around.
Yeah. I'm happy for Athletic Bilbao. They're doing well this season. It's a really great season that they're having. DK, Barcelona, how are they so good? Why are they so good?
Yeah, quick. It's something that Hansi Flick is doing that really interests me. It's very interesting to watch, and I think it's reaping its benefits. He tends to crowd the middle areas of the pitch with as many central players as possible. So you see Fermin Lopez, Olmo, Lewandowski sort of crowding this area. So you see over here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's one arriving. And what it does is it forces the defensive team to crowd that area, which leaves a lot of space within the channel. So let me use this. It leaves a lot of space within these channels. And when this space is created, it sort of isolates the winger with his fullback. And it doesn't give the opportunity for the defensive team to have proper defensive line cover, because then you can't commit too many bodies from that central zone here to sort of stop it. And then he also has his underlapping and sometimes overlapping fullbacks. So you see Koundé making this run sometimes, you see him making this run outside sometimes. So what happens is that it allows the winger that freedom to be able to isolate his man, have that one-on-one. And whichever fullback is sort of giving the defensive line cover is also having his eye on the fullback that is either going to overlap and underlap. But this space here is what is usually creating the space here. And because of the technical ability of the Barcelona players, even when they choose to go through the central areas, they can play those tiki-taka, interplay, quick short passes, create space for themselves to score. So you see it in this instance, the flick there, and the space is created. He goes back through that same channel to Lamine Yamal, who creates an opportunity, but this time around, Pedri is unable to score. And then we see it's happened time and time again. I think this is the second one again. You see a number of the Barcelona players in and around these areas, and then it creates space for the channel here. So you see again, there's a fullback, there's a winger isolated here, but this time around, he decides to go for the shot there. He deflects off Lewandowski. But it's a very interesting tactic, and it's something similar we saw with Amorim in Sporting. That time it was working, but right now it's not really picking. But then again, you look at it, and this is what we are talking about. Once Lamine Yamal has got his man isolated one-on-one, this defender who should be given proper defensive line covers is also sort of worried about the late run that Koundé will make. So he can't get too tight and make it one-on-one. And again, the space is opened up. He sort of feints because now this defender is being taken away from by Koundé's run. And then he allows Lamine space to do his stuff. Look at him. And then somebody's father, easy. And then he cuts it back, and there's a simple lobbing. And again, because of so many bodies in the central areas, Barcelona have 1, 2, 3, plenty options to pick out. Yeah. But it's very interesting because when you are playing with this system, with a head coach who has created a system to suit the players, it's very difficult for you to be but this one, Højlund Sef will be scoring goals because Zexi will score. Because there are so many sets and so many teammates around. Even if you don't have a clear side to go, you can always pick the next pass and the next pass, and there will always be space for your teammates to tack it home. So it's something that I've noticed with Barcelona. It's really interesting, and it's very difficult to defend against a system like this. Sociedad obviously couldn't. They conceded 4, and hopefully Amorim will learn from this and we'll see something.
Interesting. Thank you very much. Now,
Amorim must crowd the box with
he must crowd the box
with Zexi and Højlund and
he really has to. He has to. Lazio also beat AC Milan away from him. Milan, things are falling apart for them in Italy as well. I'm not sure what's going on with them, but the biggest game of the weekend came from the Inter Milan and Napoli game, which ended in a 1-1 draw by Inter. Of course, firmly at the top of the Serie A table. They're still in the Champions League as well. They were in the final in 2023 internationally. Champions League returns on Tuesday and Wednesday with a run of 16 games. So I'm going to take the guys through quickly. Sicho, Club Brugge, Aston Villa.
Aston Villa.
Villa win. Real Atleti.
Real Madrid.
You can't even think twice.
No, I don't bet against Real Madrid in Champions League. You know me.
PSV Arsenal.
Draw win for PSV.
Dortmund Lille.
Dortmund will win at home, I think.
Final Inter.
Internationally.
Liverpool at Paris.
Slot 2.
What about the German derby? The two of you are very good.
That is why they pay me.
Charlie.
You just knew you were going to say slow.
Slot 2.
Now, this one.
Bayern Leverkusen.
Danny, what do you think? Bayern Leverkusen.
I think that's a draw.
I think it's going to be a winner. I think.
Yeah.
Over 2 legs, I think Bayern will win.
I think Bayern will qualify. I just don't know how this one turn out.
But two legs, I actually fancy Leverkusen. But let's see.
Soon.
They were punching each other. Buendia and...
Buendia and Boniface.
No, Buendia, I know the pet. You know, he doesn't
What
respect.
about Benfica and Barcelona? That's a European football royalty. Like,
Yeah, Pavlidis to score, but Barca to win.
that's a twin.
Guarantee.
Oracle, take me through the Tuesday games now.
The Club Brugge coach has some consultants. Yes. Club Brugge will beat Villa.
Okay.
Straight draw, Madrid and Atletico.
Okay.
No striker, PSV will beat Arsenal. Dortmund Lille, I think Dortmund will win the first leg. Final and Inter, I think it'll be a low-scoring game. I think Inter will edge it. PSG, Dembele will do the work, but over 2 legs, I think Slotto will get the job done. Bayern, I think over 2. I don't know what happened in the first leg, but over 2 legs, Bayern will win. But I think I'll go over 1.5, more than 2 goals in this game. And then Benfica, Barcelona, if you are leading 4-1 and you allow them to come and beat you 5-4 and they catch you again, this time Barca will load them. There will be no comeback, anything. Barca will load them clean.
You heard from the Oracle, and that's how we end our show. We have live commentary. You can join Danny K tomorrow for the Real Madrid versus Atletico game on Hits 103.9 FM. But that's our show for tonight. Thank you, Sicho. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you to all of you for tuning in and for your lovely messages. We're very grateful. Enjoy Ghana month. Enjoy Ramadan. Our show is proudly sponsored by Piva Guinness Syntex. Until next week. Bye-bye for now.